This lecture accompanies the plumbing review questions located at the back of your trade manual. Your instructor is Jack Creel, a licensed plumbing and general building contractor with over 20 years experience. Jack will review each question and answer starting with number 1. Be sure to have a pen and highlighter ready to take notes.
We are beginning the plumbing review questions. On the first 3 questions, we're going to be dealing with this first page, referring back to it, referring back to the diagram on the top and the chart on the bottom. Let's get started with number 1. What diameter pipe is required for section A? Well, let's take a look at the chart and the diagram. In the diagram, we see that A pipe serves only the 40-gallon hot water heater, which has 50,000 BTU. So that's one of the first things we know. How many appliances does it serve? In this situation, it's just one. And what is the length of pipe to that appliance? So we add up 25 and 20 and 10 and 15 and 15 and 15, and we come up with a total of 100 feet from the gas meter to the hot water heater. And the next thing we need to know is the BTUs used. We've already seen that it's 50,000. We take that 50,000 and we convert it to cubic feet. How do we do that? It's actually on the bottom of the diagram. Assume 1,100 BTUs for every cubic foot of gas. So we take the BTUs of 50,000 and we divide 1,100 into 50,000. And the answer that we come up with is 45 cubic feet of gas. Now we have all the data that we need to work the chart. First we look at the chart, and what's the length in feet? We're dealing with 100, so we're going to be on the far right of the chart. How many cubic feet of gas do we need coming through the pipe? We need 45 cubic feet. The first entry under 100 is 50 cubic feet. So that very first entry would do the trick for us. And we look back across the chart and we see that that demands a half-inch pipe. So for the area A, we would need half-inch pipe. And the answer is letter A. Question 2. What diameter pipe is required for section E? Now looking at the diagram, section E is the beginning pipe. So we need to know how many appliances is it going to serve. It's actually going to serve all 5 appliances. So we take all 5 appliances and figure out the BTUs that each one uses and add those up. We have a wall heater at 35,000 BTU. We have a gas range at 65,000 BTU. To the right, we have a clothes dryer at 35,000 BTU. The next one that we add in is the log lighter at 25,000 BTU. And finally, we finish up with the water heater at 50,000 BTU. When we add up all 5 usages of BTUs, we end up with a number of 210,000 BTU. We need to convert that to cubic feet. And again, we do it just like we did it in problem 1 by dividing 1,100 BTUs for every cubic foot. 1,100 into 210,000 will give us an answer of 191 cubic feet. Now we look at the chart. What's the length of feet? Since that's serving the whole line, the length of footage is 100, just like the first problem. We look in the 100 line. We look for a number that is greater than 191. We come down 3 steps in that column: 50, 104, 197. So 197 is just a little bit more than we need. 197 would be the number that we would use. Go back across the chart all the way to the left-hand side. The pipe size for that is 1 inch. And the answer is letter B, 1 inch. Problem number 3. What diameter pipe is required for section G? So section G comes off of the main line, and it serves how many appliances? It serves just one appliance. Serves the clothes dryer at 35,000 BTU. So first, one appliance. The next thing we figure out is what's the length. We add 25 and 20 and 10 and 10 again. We come up with a length of 65 feet. And the BTUs are 35,000 per hour used by the clothes dryer. And we take that 35,000 and again we divide it by 1100. We'll end up with 32 cubic feet per hour. So we look down the column. The first number is 61, almost double what we need. So we stop right there, go back to the left again. We see that we need a pipe size of 1/2 inch. And the answer is letter A, 1/2 inch. Let's go on to question number 4. Where does the homeowner begin to be responsible for gas piping? Of the 4 choices, the correct one is after the meter. So just think about it a little bit. The meter actually belongs to the gas company. The pipe right after the meter belongs to the house, and that's the point of demarcation between responsibilities. So in this problem, the answer would be letter C. Number 5. In an island vent, what type of fitting would be used that is not used in a wall installation? The answer here would be a cleanout, letter B. And a cleanout is required in an island because the vent runs under the floor. So a stoppage in the drain line might end up causing a flooding in the vent pipe, thus the cleanout is necessary. Number 6, what should you do if the waste line is connected to the closet bend? And the answer is letter C. Advise the owner to bring it up to code. And this is a question to see that you recognize that this connection is not allowed. Number 7, how should you replace part of an exterior gas line? And the answer would be to use factory wrapped black iron pipe, letter D. Number 8, what is the minimum porosity for a drain field on a septic system? And the answer is letter A, 0.83 gallons per square foot. And that's in a 24-hour period. Number 9, what should be installed when a contractor installs a fixture? The answer is B, P-trap. The other 3 choices are illegal installations. And the question here is designed to see if you can recognize that they are illegal installations. Number 10, what is the minimum distance for access to a 1.5 inch cleanout? The answer is D. You must have a minimum of 12 inches. And that is for 2 inch and smaller cleanouts. If you're larger than a 2 inch cleanout, then you need to go up to a minimum of 18 inches. Number 11, a special vent is used halfway up a 10-story building to help with venting. What is this type of vent called? The correct answer is letter C, a yoke vent. Again, on a 10-story building or more, you are required to put in a yoke vent between the vent system and the drainage system. And that's to be done at every 5th story. Number 12, a contractor finds an old wall-hung trough urinal and a pedestal trough urinal when she is remodeling an old building. What should the contractor do? D is the correct answer. Replace both urinals. They are both out of code. Number 13, who do you notify when installing a gas system greater than 5 psi? The answer on this problem is letter B, utility company for the building. The gas company will tell you whether it's possible to provide a higher pressure system or not. Number 14, where do you put the gate valve on an injector? The answer is letter B, after the check valve. In other words, in the downstream. Number 15, how many supports do you need for 4-inch ABS pipe that is 20 feet long? The answer is letter B, 5 supports needed. All sizes of ABS pipe need to be supported every 4 feet. Take 20 feet long, divided by 4 feet, you get 5 supports needed. Number 16, there is a purple pipe in the ground leading to a house. For what is the pipe used? The answer is letter B, reclaimed water. Number 17, a floor drain is required for a public bathroom that has. The answer here is letter C, 2 toilets. So if there are 2 toilets or more in a public bathroom, you need to get in a floor drain. 18, when a temperature relief valve discharges outside, the pipe should be, and the answer here is letter D, not threaded and not trapped. So no encumberment on that pipe, just straight pipe, no threads, no trap. Number 19, why must you contact Dig Alert before excavating? And the answer is letter A, to determine the location of any underground utilities. This is a simple and very good precautionary system to avoid dangerous situations and to avoid very expensive repairs. Number 20, thrust blocks must be installed in yard piping at every, and the correct answer is change in direction. This dampens the pipe movement with sudden change of pressure. So with every change of direction, pop in a thrust block, letter A. Number 21, seismic gas shutoff valves must be installed, and the answer here is letter A, after the gas meter. It's on the customer's side of the meter, letter A, after the gas meter. Number 22, the temperature on a temperature and pressure relief valve for a water heater should have a maximum release temperature of, so the answer is letter C, 210 degrees Fahrenheit, just below the boiling point. Number 23, handicap restrooms should have A, a minimum of 48 inches of maneuverable space in front of the toilet, B, lever handles on faucets, C, wrapped drain lines, D, all of the above. The correct answer is, of course, D, all of the above. Make sure that you read all of the answers on each question, because it may be a similar problem like this, where the most correct answer is D. Question number 24. What materials are allowed to be used for gas piping? The answer to this one is letter C, PE or polyethylene, steel, and copper. Now PE is polyethylene, as I said, but it is only allowed in exterior installations. Number 25. What is the proper pipe design for an island sink? The answer is letter C, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 45 degrees. And this is vent pipe design. Number 26. What causes a flushometer to run constantly? The answer is letter A, diaphragm is faulty. So in this situation, an R&R or remove and replace is necessary. Number 27. Which of the following is the strongest copper tubing? We have a choice of the 4 types, K, L, M, or D, W, V. The answer is the first one, letter A, type K. This is the thickest wall. And by the way, that will have a green stripe on it. Number 28. What materials are used for vents? Cast iron, plastic, and brass, cast iron, copper, and brass, galvanized steel and copper, all of the above. Answer is D, all of the above. Here's another question where you need to read all of the answers. 29. How long and under how much pressure do you pressure test a residential fuel piping system? And the answer is letter A, 10 psi for 15 minutes. The typical pressure, by the way, in a fuel line is somewhere between 2 and 5 psi. So at 10 psi, you're at least at double the pressure. Number 30. What is the maximum listed temperature for water heaters? The answer is letter C, 210 degrees Fahrenheit. That's, of course, right below 212 boiling point. Anything over 212 is putting you into a pressure system or a boiler system. Number 31. When working with solvents and adhesives, wear a surgical mask, keep working area well ventilated, notify DOSH, keep other workers at least 3 feet away. The answer here is B, keep working area well ventilated. Question number 32. What is the maximum distance allowed between a gas appliance and a shutoff valve? And the answer is letter C, 36 inches. The maximum set away distance is 36 inches between the valve and the connection to the appliance. Question number 33. What kind of valve must you install between the water meter and the house? The answer is letter B, a full-way valve. Now, a full-way valve is not a specific type of valve, it's a general type of valve that allows full flow. And there are a couple of different types of valves that fit that classification. Number 34. What would you use to fix a broken gas line? The answer is letter C, left and right union or coupling. The other 3 choices are an attempt to patch the line, which is absolutely forbidden. Question number 35. How do you disinfect potable water lines? Purge with chlorine gas, flush with fresh water, fill with a solution of chlorine and water, both B and C. And the answer is letter D, both B and C. So first you would flush with fresh water, and then you would fill it with a solution of chlorine and water. And by the way, after that, you would flush it again with potable water such that you would get the bleach flavor out of the water. Number 36. What color paint is used to mark underground sewer lines? And the answer is letter A, green. You might remember it by thinking green, slimy sewer water. Number 37. Type L copper tube is marked with A, green stripe, blue stripe, red stripe, yellow stripe. And the answer is B, blue stripe. Number 38. Which of the following would be allowed on a 2-inch vent? Now, on a 2-inch vent, you need to know that there are fixture values of 24 allowed, but no more. So anything over 24 would not be allowed on a 2-inch vent. You'd have to go to a bigger size. So with that information, let's look at the 4 choices we have here. 18 residential sinks. A residential sink, and this is a kitchen sink, each one has a value of 2, so that would be 36, and that would be a value well over the 24. That would not be allowed. 25 lavatories, bathroom sinks, but they're called just lavatories. In the code and on the test, sinks refer to kitchen sinks, lavatories refer to the fixture in the bathroom where you wash your hands. And a lavatory has a fixture value of 1, so that would give you 25 fixture values, 1 over the maximum. That would not work. Showers have a fixture value of 2 each. We have 16 showers. That would be 32. That would also be beyond the 24 max. 4 pedestal urinals. This type of urinal has a value of 6 each one. That would be 24. That'd be right at the max. So the correct answer would be letter D. 39. What type of pipe is not generally used on a building drain? The answer is letter C, brass. And that's due to expense of the material. It's just not done. Question number 40. Where is the invert measurement taken? The answer here is letter B, inside bottom. Number 41. How far do you open the valve of an oxygen bottle? Just a crack, half turn, 3/4 of a turn, or fully? The answer is letter D, fully. Reason for that? It's a double-seated valve, and without fully opening the valve, there's risk of leakage. 42. How far do you open the valve of an acetylene bottle? Just a crack, half turn, 3/4 of a turn, or fully? For the acetylene bottle, you open it only 3/4 of a turn. So the answer would be letter C, 3/4 of a turn, and that allows for a quick turn-off in case of an emergency. Number 43. What should you do with an abandoned septic tank? The answer is letter D, drain and fill with sand, gravel, or other approved material. And that concludes the plumbing review questions. Good luck on that state exam. Good luck in your work. Thanks very much.